Well, Congress is back in session. And if you need any proof that Washington is completely different than it was just a few weeks ago, all you need to do is look at the priorities of the House of Representatives. After only a few days back on the job, members of the lower chamber voted to repeal Obamacare. Yet even before the votes were cast in Congress, the professional cynics in Washington were saying that it didn't much matter. With President Obama still in the White House and Democrats still in control of the Senate, the skeptics say repeal will never become reality. But they're missing three important points. First, the House vote wasn't just about repeal. It was about keeping faith with the American people. For 2 years, ordinary Americans had to stand by helplessly as Congress told them that their opinion didn't matter and that their concerns were ignorant and ill-informed. The new Congress is intent on showing the voters that they hear their voices and that they'll deliver on the promises they've made. Second, the repeal vote is a way to enforce accountability in our elected officials. This is especially true in the Senate, where many legislators who weren't on the ballot in 2010 thought the public would forget about their support for Obamacare before their next re-election campaign. But a series of votes will keep them from pulling the wool over the eyes of the voters. Third, and finally, this is a defiant reminder that sometimes compromise is not an option. When minor differences of opinion come between the two parties, it can make sense to find room for cooperation. But when Americans' fundamental liberties are endangered, when the Constitution's restraint on the federal government are broken, and when the will of the American people is ignored, the politicians must be made to answer. This is only the beginning of a long fight. First, we'll have to win the argument. Then, we'll have to win the vote. And finally, on a day not too long from now, we'll win back our freedom. That's this week's Freedom Minute.